Hey babes, it's Jenni Procopi from chronicbabe.com, and today is another AWAP Wednesday. AWAP stands for As Well As Possible, and it's what I want for you in all things, to do the best that you can in spite of chronic illness. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about naysayers. Naysayers are really common. I think we all encounter them. I know I have encountered so many of them over the years. I have had some really insane experiences with people being naysayers. I had a woman, a nurse at a 4th of July party, lecture me on how to take care of myself and the fact that fibromyalgia wasn't real. And I started to argue with her to the point where my friend had to drag me away and isolate me from her. So not the best way to deal with naysayers. So I have a few tips. So a caveat is that if you've got someone who you really love, who's like a family member or your partner or husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, and they are just consistently a naysayer, you got a bigger problem than this video can address, because you can't have somebody that close in your life who has that much access to you who's going to be negative all the time. It's just not healthy for you. So if that situation is going on, I want you to seriously consider talking to a counselor about it and potentially, pushing that person away a little bit, building some good boundaries, because you can't have somebody in your life who has that much access to you and is negative or in denial or whatever. It's just not healthy. For those naysayers who are acquaintances, people who you might know a little bit, maybe someone you know through work or church or a mutual friend of someone, let's say you're at a party and they want to give you advice that's counter to what you know works for you. Or let's say you're describing an autoimmune disease and they're like, oh, I heard that those aren't real. Or I had a cousin who ate raw ginger for 3 months and was cured. Or my favorite, if you go to this website, it'll take you to a place where you can learn about sitting on this guy's ranch under a tree and angels will come and bless you and cure you. Yeah, that was my favorite. So if you have an acquaintance who's doing this, this is a good opportunity for you to try to engage them in a conversation where they learn a little bit and they begin to understand that they don't need to be doing that. So a way you could start that conversation might be, hey, thanks for your feedback on that. I've lived with this condition for X number of years, and I have a really great medical team, and we've got it as under control as we can. So thanks anyway. How are you? What I tried to demonstrate there was just that you can steer the conversation away from your illness stuff and back to them. People love to talk about themselves, so you can steer a conversation back to them. You're probably going to get them to stop being a naysayer. Now, for those naysayers that you barely know or don't even know at all, like let's say it's the checkout person at the grocery store or someone who just happens to be sitting in the waiting room at the doctor's office at the same time as you, and they offer unsolicited advice, the best thing you can do is just say, thank you very much, and just leave it right there. Sometimes it's the best thing you can do, because you don't need to keep engaging in a conversation with them, and you need to kind of let it roll off your back. They're trying to be helpful. They're coming from a place of caring about you or having a vested interest in your health, or maybe they just really care about helping people get better and they're excited to share their ideas. It might not be their business, but they're trying to help you, and sometimes what we need to do is just remember that and kind of let it roll off our backs a little bit. Because when we get our feathers ruffled and we get crazy and we start to argue and we start to defend ourselves, all it does is rile everybody else up, and then we're in an argument. And who wants to argue about this stuff? You know best about your health. Let's say you're at a party or you're at an event and there's a person there who's just like continuing the conversation with you and like won't let it go. Separate yourself. Physically separate yourself. Walk away from them. Excuse yourself. Excuse me, I need to go to the restroom. Excuse me, I feel my phone buzzing in my pocket. Whatever, just get out of there. Physically remove yourself from that person. You don't need to be spending time with them. And seriously, if you are at an event and someone is just nagging you and nagging you and nagging you, hopefully someone else around you recognizes that that's bullshit and helps you transition the conversation to a different topic. I get asked about naysayers all the time, and honestly, I think the best thing we can learn to do is say thank you and transition the conversation. A lot of people, when they're giving you this advice, they really do mean well. They want to see you get better, and this is the only thing they know how to do to help you feel better. So if you can learn how to say, thank you so much, I can tell that you really care and I really appreciate it. How are you? That's a great opportunity to recognize that they're caring and then easily transition the conversation to something else. And it really is a caring thing for you to do for them and for yourself. For them, because you're making them feel heard and they know that you appreciate the fact that they care, and for yourself because you're drawing a boundary that protects you, so you don't have to keep talking about your stuff with somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. Okay, I hope you found this useful. These are just a few tips that I use day to day in my conversations when I encounter naysayers. I would love to hear what you have done. If you have a story about having a conversation with a naysayer, whether it's teaching someone enough that they stop being a naysayer, or it's a story about how you ended a conversation and got out of a situation without getting into fisticuffs, I want to hear all about it. So if you're not at chronicbabe.com already, hop over there and give us your story in the comments. I will appreciate it, and I know so many other chronic babes would love to hear your story. Did you like this video? Please like it wherever you are on social media and share it with your friends. We're on many different social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Tinder. I'm not on Tinder. Share it with your friends. Seriously, you never know who you might be helping when you share something like this. Thanks. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. The Chronic Babe newsletter comes out every week. It'll remind you about new videos like this and other programs that I'm offering, and guest interviews and freebies I occasionally make and give away at the website. So definitely sign up at chronicbabe.com for our free newsletter. You will love it. And you get all kinds of goodies with it. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a question for a future video, shoot me an email. It's chronicbabe@gmail.com. Otherwise, make it a kick-ass week and be AWAP. Mwah. Beep. Hey babes, it's Jenny. What the?